One of the leading architects of the secret agreement negotiated between the PGA Tour and the Saudis last year has resigned his position from the PGA Tour Policy Board. I'm Ryan Ballingy with Golf News Net, here to talk about a shocking development today in the world of golf. Jimmy Dunne, who has been a member of the PGA Tour Policy Board and was one of the co-architects of the agreement made in secret last year with the Saudis, to announce a pathway to create a final agreement between the two sides to potentially reunify men's professional golf. He has announced his resignation from the PGA Tour Policy Board effective today. In a letter dated May 13th, sent to his fellow directors, Dunne talked about his accomplishments on the board, or what he felt they were at least, in particular, negotiating the agreement with the Saudis for the Framework Agreement, which opened the door then for private investment to invest into the PGA Tour, which happened with Strategic Sports Group investing at least $1.5 billion in the tour and committing up to as much as $3 billion to invest in the tour's new for-profit subsidiary, PGA Tour Enterprises. However, Dunne feels now that his place on the board is unnecessary, superfluous, as he said in his direct words in his letter, because of several reasons. One, he's no longer involved in the negotiations with the Saudis, and he hasn't been since that framework agreement was announced June 6th of last year. He's been taken out of the process, and that's in part because of a lack of trust between player directors and Dunne, as well as Ed Herlihy and Commissioner Jay Monahan, because those three figures negotiated that deal without so much as a hint to the players and then surprised them with it, and that has caused a lot of trouble with those relationships. Also, since Dunne joined the board and negotiated that agreement, Tiger Woods has been brought on to give the players more director spots on the board than independent directors. So, as Dunne said in his testimony to the United States Senate last year, he would vote or cast a vote in favor of whatever the players wanted to do in terms of a full deal with the Saudis when they came to a final agreement. However, they no longer need his vote. If the players all agree, they do not need Jimmy Dunne or any other independent director to vote for them to agree to the deal. So, that's why Dunne considers himself useless to the situation for both of those reasons. Ultimately, he pleaded with the players to move toward a deal with the Saudis in hopes of reunifying men's professional golf, believing it will drive fans back to the game after they have left in droves over the last 22 months. What remains to be seen is what happens from here, who will replace Jimmy Dunne on the board, and what this might mean for the state of negotiations, especially with the likes of Patrick Cantlay, Tiger Woods, and Jordan Spieth being the most important player directors and the ones that are seemingly leading the path away from a deal from the Saudis, or at best slowing one down to a crawl.